Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm gonna be testing a GeForce GTX 1650 4GB GDDR5 in Helldivers II. This one is the Gigabyte Mini ITX OC model of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers, and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here in Tech PowerUp's GPU-Z, and over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5700G and 16GB of RAM. This is 3200 MHz CL14 in dual channel. Let's get into it, shall we? And here we have it, guys. We just dropped and we're getting close to 60 frames per second, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be this decent on the 1650, especially the 4GB DDR5 version, or GDDR5 version. But yeah, it seems to be very playable. I thought it was going to be closer to the GTX 1050 Ti than it actually is. That was kind of a bad experience, you know. That's also the minimum requirements GPU. But here with the 1650, yeah, it feels considerably smoother, guys. The fact that we're getting 50s instead of like 40s and even drops into the 30s, it feels great in a third-person shooter like this one. And I forgot to go through the settings as well, but I'm gonna go over them in just a little bit. Let me just deal with these bastards right here. I'm starting at 1080p native resolution, as you can see, using the low settings preset, and I think you should probably stick to low with the 1650 because, again, it will deliver the best experience, the smoothest experience, obviously. And I mean, the game doesn't really look that amazing on low settings, honestly. It's kind of crap, actually. But that's also because this particular world or map that we're playing on at the moment isn't really that beautiful, and that's gonna be a common thing, you know. There are a lot of worlds that are just ugly in this game, unfortunately, especially on the lowest settings. I'm also gonna try it out on medium settings, since it's actually running so decently here on low. Also, a little bit of vegetation on screen at the moment, dropping us into the lower 50s and higher 40s at times. But that frame time graph, guys, that's like the real deal in this game, you know. I mean, aside from the great gameplay, of course. The frame time graph here is so dang smooth. It's such a breath of fresh air compared to other games that have released in recent years. This doesn't stutter at all, even if you run out of VRAM. And we're not really running out of VRAM at the moment, because 4 gigabytes actually is enough at 1080p low settings, of course. But with a GT 1030, for example, that's a 2 gigabyte card, it was running out of VRAM by a little bit. And yet it didn't really stutter, guys. So the memory management in this game is great. The optimization is great. Sometimes it will drop here and there. Oh my god, what the hell? This is a big one. I didn't even notice it. Okay, maybe I should throw some grenades. Yes. All right, just walk into my grenades. Oh boy, there we go. A couple of great grenades right there. Oh, wait. I need to throw a grenade over there so they stop coming. Holy crap. Okay, that one is dead. No, it's not. Oh, kind of seemed like he was. All right, come on, shoot the bastard. He's dead now. Okay. Oh, we're doing it, guys. We're doing it with the help of our boys, of course. If I was alone, I'd be screwed right now. But yeah, I could feel some drops already into the, like, lower 40s, I think. But it's nothing that would ruin my experience here. I think these settings are pretty adequate for the 1650, and if you're planning on buying the game with this card, go ahead and do so. You can definitely have fun, and that's what it's all about, obviously. And actually, can it do 1440p? You know what? There aren't really many people playing at 1440p with the 1650, obviously. But I'm curious now. Okay, here we go. 2565 1440 is next, still on the low settings. Ooh, that's way more intensive, as you can see, for a little 1650. But again, since the game doesn't really stutter when you run out of VRAM, this can be playable. Let me just reinforce my guy. He just died. Let's go, buddy. I could also do with a little bit of a machine gun, you know. Let's go. Wait for it. 5 seconds. We should be fine. Also, we're getting like 30s, 40s. This is more similar to what I experienced, I think, with the GTX 1050 Ti, but at 1080p resolution. And this is at 1440, guys. That's kind of amazing, once again. Like, the optimization in this game is great. I mean, I was expecting higher FPS on the higher-end GPUs on ultra settings, and at various resolutions, like the 4070 Super is a beast of a card, and it only got around like 90 FPS average at 1440p ultra settings. But then you take a look at these lower-end GPUs, like a 1650 these days, in the recent titles, it just can't run much, you know, like especially UE5 titles and stuff like that. Yet here we are playing Helldivers 2, one of the most popular games out there at the moment, at 30 plus FPS, like even with all of these things happening in front of us, a lot of smoke effects and so on, it is not dropping from 30. This could be playable, guys. Oh boy, I almost fell there. Like, if you lock it to 30 FPS and play with a controller for that console-like experience, you could do it. That's amazing! And there's still resolution scaling, which looks crap in this game because it's their own resolution scaling. It's no DLSS or FSR or XeSS, unfortunately. But yeah, you could use it to achieve an even smoother experience here at 1440p if you wanted to. I don't want to. I'm just gonna show it to you real quick, okay, before we go to 4K, I guess. So we're on 1440p ultra quality render scale, and it's getting now 40s instead of 30s. You know, we gained about like what, maybe 10, no, not 10 FPS, 7 to 8 FPS maybe, something like that. We were on the lower 30s right here, at least in this area. Oh, wait a second. Okay, there we go. Where are my guys going? Wait, okay, oh yeah, they're doing the objective. Of course they are. I'm just here running around like a prick because I need to benchmark things and change settings and so on. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, there we go. Come on. Shoot his ass, boy! Okay. Come on. There we go. Oh my gosh, these guys. These guys are very hard to kill. Alright, there we go. Wait. Damn it! It's just deflecting everything that I throw at it. Alright, no. Wait. We did it. Good job. Good job, people. Can I reload this? No, I don't have any more ammo on this. Can we send a resupply thing? No. Damn it. Why? 500 kilogram bomb. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. That's a big explosion. Nice. Oh boy, so many of them actually. What the heck? Okay. Oh, no ammo. No ammo. No ammo. Oh my gosh. All right, you know what, guys? This is very similar to 1080p resolution in terms of detail right now in my 42-inch monitor. I can't tell much of a difference between 1080p and 1440p with ultra quality upscaling in the game. So there's that. Again, it could look better if it was FSR2 or like XeSS as well. But it's passable at 1440p. At 1080p, don't do it. It will just look like 720p, and that's pretty rough. But here, yeah, I would probably enable it just to have that a little bit smoother of an experience. The 40 FPS does make a difference compared to the 30 FPS. And thinking of it, I think the 1050 Ti got around these FPS actually when I tried it at 1080p low settings. Obviously, it was in a different map and doing different things as well. But I actually have tried a lot of maps already, and I found that the desert maps do get you like more FPS than the average, you know, with a lot of vegetation and so on. But once you get into those nests area and the objective areas with a lot of rocks and stuff, it drops to around the same values as these maps. So there's that. It's pretty consistent, that's what I'm saying, across the maps as well. Okay, so I applied the 4K resolution, guys. This is it. The game crashed for some reason while I was inside of the game, like playing down there, you know, which is a shame. I won't really gain any XP from that run, and it was quite a good one. But let's move on. This is native 4K resolution. Why are we doing this? Well, I don't know. For science at this point. Oh, it actually does work. Okay, there we go. We're here again, guys. Yay, getting 20. Actually, 20 is pretty impressive. What? This is native 4K resolution, and I mean, we're not inside of a forest or anything, so it's way less intensive than those scenarios, but I can run around. You know, it's not stuttery. It is running out of VRAM probably by a little bit, but it's manageable as well. It's not maxing out our RAM usage anyways. This is impressive once again. Okay. Also, VRAM usage. Sometimes with this GPU, I've noticed that it shows 3.6 gigabytes of utilization there, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't swapped things into the RAM as well, and that doesn't mean that the VRAM is maxed out. It's weird, I know, but it's just how the 1650 works, apparently. Oh my god, my boy just died there. But hey, it is pretty terrible as expected, so at 4K, we really need to utilize some upscaling. Let's try, or render scaling actually, it's not upscaling in this game. Oh boy, okay, it actually applied, so they fixed the issue. Oh boy! Where it would crash instantly when I changed the resolution scaling settings. You know. Ooh, there's a machine gun right here. Okay, I'm gonna grab that. That's a fat boy right here. This one is the one who killed us, right? I think so. Also, the textures, I am noticing that they take quite a long time to render in here at 4K resolution. Again, to be expected, and that's another indication that the VRAM is actually maxing out here at this res. Anyway, let's keep on going. Now we're getting above cinematic FPS, which is 24, of course. So if you're fancying watching yourself play the game as a movie, well, this is a great experience. You will be way better off just lowering down the resolution, you know, instead of using this. But yeah, that's it. It's still not 30 plus FPS, so it's definitely not recommended. Let's use like performance. That should be adequate for this GPU. There we go. Finally getting 30 plus. But it looks really rough in the edges right now, guys. There is a ton of shimmering. There is a lot of aliasing as well. It just doesn't look good. But hey, if you have a 4K monitor with a 1650, you can use some resolution scale to keep all of the UI sharp and at 4K, you know, and then just render the game with a low resolution, and it will look okay. It's not absolutely awful, especially after testing stuff like GT 1030 here in this particular title, and the 1050 Ti as well, where we needed to drop it down to 720p to achieve around 60 FPS or 60 to 70 FPS. Pretty impressive what it can do, even though it's not playable at native resolution. I was not expecting it to get 20 frames per second, guys, at 4K native. That's insane for a 1650 in a recent title once again. Alright, now we're back to the ship, guys, getting 40-ish frames per second because I changed the settings in the resolution, of course. We're now playing at 1080p native resolution with the medium settings preset, including medium textures as well. Ooh, it's getting similar FPS to like 1440p native in an area with a lot of vegetation, 29, 30 FPS. So, yeah, you better stick to the low settings if you have the GDDR5 version of this card, and even if you have the GDDR6 version as well, because that's going to be a little bit faster, like it's usually 10% faster or so. And I'm not going to take this fight, I don't want to with these FPS. If 10% is the difference between the GDDR6 and GDDR5 in this game, that translates into 3 FPS. Right now at the settings that we're utilizing. And yeah, that would make a bit of a difference, but it would inevitably drop once you are shooting a lot more monsters and a lot of smoke effects are on screen and so on. Like this, for example. Yeah, 27, so that means that the other card would drop to about 29 or so, 25 over here. That would drop to like 27, 28. It's not really that great. Oh boy! Oh boy! Jesus Christ. I'm fine though, I'm fine. How am I not dead? Again, you should play it on low settings, but let's try it with ultra quality upscaling, render scaling again. I keep messing that up, guys. As soon as I applied it and I looked at these graphics, it's so much softer. If it was ultra quality XCSS, for example, it would have been so much better looking, but the developers say that they are focusing more on like gameplay and so on than upscalers, and their upscaler is fine. I'm really not sure if it's that difficult to implement upscaling in a game. It's It's kind of weird. Maybe it's because the game is running on an older engine as well, and it's not that easy to implement upscaling technologies, so they went with their own render scaling. It works. On a smaller monitor, it will look decent, but it's definitely a lot softer than 1080p native resolution. And there are some artifacts as well, like motion blurs and so on. For example, over there on those trees, if I move like this, you can see a lot of pixelation and noise. It's bad, and blur as well. Yeah, okay. But hey, if you want 1080p resolution at medium settings, well, this is the closest that you'll get to with the resolution scaling. It does get you 30 plus most of the time. If it dips here and there, it's probably not going to happen very often, but if it does, you could overclock the card, achieve a couple of more frames per second, and that's it. It's going to be a 30 plus FPS experience. I still recommend the low settings again. It doesn't look as good as this, obviously. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's like a grenade launcher. A really fast grenade launcher. Okay. Alright. Reload. Can I reload this? I can't reload this. Okay. Okay. Alright. Let's just go with the gun. Normal gun again. There we go. Maybe setting it to like quality would give us like 40 FPS. Yeah, there we go. Definitely. It's exactly what I was expecting. 40 plus FPS most of the time. But now it's really, really rough. Previously, it was already really rough, but this is even worse in terms of softness, guys. It doesn't look good whatsoever. I would not use this, okay? But what if you don't mind playing at like 720p resolution, native as well, medium settings? Can we get... Oh yeah, we can get 30 plus FPS easily, obviously. I still expected closer to like 50 frames though. So dropping the resolution from 1080p to 720 doesn't really make that big of a difference. It is different, obviously, like coming from 29, 30 FPS to 41 is way better, but I was expecting a bigger jump. If you don't mind playing at 720p, you have like a really small monitor, for example, one of those portable monitors, 15 inches or whatever, it will look decent like this. Oh, it's still dropping. Oh my god. Okay, it's probably rendering in some more things, looking in this direction, and the VRAM or something just can't keep up on medium settings. So that's... It still drops into the 20s, guys, at 720p. It's definitely not a good experience. It's not locked either. It's just getting flat 30 FPS most of the time here. But now it's up into the 40s again. What the hell? Oh, yeah, it's the area where we are, basically. If we go over here to this area, it gets 30 FPS. But if I run over to this area, in just a little bit, it should shoot up. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, that's really weird behavior, because we're seeing exactly the same thing in this direction. 47 FPS. But then we move back here. Seeing, look at the same thing, basically. 30 FPS. What? That's so weird. Anyway, guys, if that's not an indication that you shouldn't really use medium settings with this card, I don't know what is. Oh my god, 20s. Wait, let me go back here. Oh, now we're getting 45. Very smooth and playable. That's ridiculous, actually. What the hell? I've never seen something like this. Like, usually you see like a big city, for example, the FPS drop like crazy. Looking in this direction, for example, imagine there's a big city right there, and then you look back and you get a lot more FPS. But no, we're looking at exactly the same things, and the FPS just drop like crazy. Look at this. I'm out of words at this point. What? Stick to low settings, guys, no matter what resolution you're playing on, apparently. I'll catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.